thought I wasn't ready.
Hey,
There she is. Hello, Aurora. How are you?
hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining me today to talk about Joychild.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me. Loving this background you have here.
Oh, thank you. I can't recall a more emotional or powerful short film than this. I mean, you had
Oh,
such little time, and it's just talk about a wallop. It's just, I think it accomplished everything you were trying to say, or everything that, was it Lou?
yeah,
It's
too.
Lou was trying to say, and I was caught off guard. I really was. And, an 8-year-old coming out to their mother is transgendered. How did you get the family to trust you to tell their story?
Wow. Yeah, I get this question a lot. Partly I'm like, I was just very, very fortunate that they felt so comfortable being vulnerable in front of me. But I think a big part of it was that when I began making this film, I was very open with the families about why I was interested in this subject. And that's because shortly before I began making the film, my long term romantic partner came out to me as transgender. And that was a big surprise for me. And it was initially very, very challenging for me. And the film was sort of a part of my process of sort of coming to understand and like learn how to love them unconditionally. And so when I approached the families, I expressed to them like this is why I'm interested, and I shared that part of myself, and I think it made them feel comfortable being open and vulnerable and sharing with me. Um, so yeah, I think a big part of it was that mutual kind of vulnerability that we shared, and also just like a lot of patience and understanding, and you never want to bring a camera out too quickly and make people feel uncomfortable. So we spent a lot of time without any cameras on, just having conversations, and yeah, so I feel like it sort of just came through that patience and that shared vulnerability. But I also have to just, it's a big testament just to this mother and child and what a beautiful bond they have, and that they're able to be so vulnerable with one another. And I think that's sort of part of how it happened.
Yeah, because that's what really surprised me, because most families don't accept and understand gender identity, and their first reaction is denial or anger. But Lou was just in a loving situation.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really incredible. I mean, this parent is like, I admire them so much. I don't have my own children, but I certainly would want to model myself, after them in the way that they just so warmly and with so much understanding accepted their child. And, I think that what's most powerful about what they did is that their ability just to listen, and to affirm what's happening. And yeah.
Isn't it so much? It's so much easier to love than hate, isn't it? It's just all the
Yeah,
there's no energy in loving, right? It just kind of happens. With hate,
absolutely.
you've got it just consumes you, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely, definitely. I feel like there's such a great model, and there's so much that people can learn about, about children and gender identity, but also about parenting and about how to approach something like this within a family from this film.
There's always an argument about, well, these kids are too young, especially if they're 8 years old. They have no idea what they want, and they're being brainwashed by the family, by the parents. But after watching this, is it me or the intelligence at their age, the vocabulary and their sense of awareness? It's undeniable. And it's always with transgender children. They're not kind of like being immature about it. They're talking to you like they're on a college level.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this kid has like emotional intelligence far superior to my emotional intelligence as an adult. Like, it was really stunning. And I think it's just a testament to the fact that kids do have an innate understanding of gender identity. And, not all kids are able to express themselves so eloquently. But, I do think that this child is really exceptional in their ability to express themselves. But I think that what's there is that innate understanding of knowing is very universal. I mean, we all know ourselves from a very young age. I think people who identify as being cisgender, it didn't take them until they were 25, to know that they were cis. We have a feeling and we understand it. And I think, I think that Lou is so brilliant and so brave to, express themselves in film, because it's a difficult thing to do.
And tell me about the artistic decision to do black and white, because it just made it that much more powerful, I thought.
Yeah, so part of the reason why I chose that was because I think we think of um, gender expansive children and trans issues as something that's fairly new, but in reality, trans people have existed, since people have existed. And I think that the film gave the film, meaning like the actual using, I shot it on film and I shot it in black and white. And I think that that gave it a very sort of timeless quality. The film can't really be placed. You wouldn't know it was 2019 or, like 1980, like you wouldn't. And I wanted that. I wanted it to feel like sort of this epic, timeless thing. And then also I think film just has a very wonderful nostalgic quality to it as well. And so much of the film is about memory and recollection. And I thought that the medium of film really lent itself really nicely to that.
And the simplicity about it. I mean, the specific message, I think color would just be distracting. And there's just something about black and white where it just washes everything away,
Right, exactly.
down to what you're talking about, to the subject.
Right. And you can really focus on the words.
And, transgender children are front and center, topic of discussion with sports and bathrooms. And are you hoping Joychild opens up a dialogue?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't make this film specifically for that reason. I really made it because it was a story that was resonating with me at the time. But I think now it's coming out at a time when these issues are so much more relevant than ever. Like you said, with like a new slate of bills trying to regulate transgender children in school and their ability to play sports and their access to healthcare and exactly what kind of bathrooms they can use. And I hope for people who have transgender children in their life, or for trans kids themselves, that through this film, they feel very seen and very heard. And I also hope for people who are, potentially more skeptical or who don't understand, that this helps them connect with trans children. I think we don't have to understand what it means to be trans or what it feels like, but I think we can all learn to accept and respect people who do feel that way.
And great success on the film festival circuit. How's that been, that experience?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, it's been a little disappointing because it's been the pandemic.
Right.
So festivals have all been virtual, but the reception has been so wonderful. It's been accepted to quite a few festivals now, and very lucky that the New Yorker, they have a documentary series and they've acquired the film. And so pretty soon the film will be publicly available online in June.
Well, wonderful. Aurora, congratulations. Beautiful film. Thank you so much for joining me today. Come visit us in Las Vegas. We'd love to have you.
Oh, I would. Hopefully some film festival in Vegas accepts me and I will be there.
We'll get it back on track, I promise.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.